roams the streets to look upon the one who bled to save me and walk with him for all eternity.
Well, good morning, Lufkin Central and online worship community. Jason Hollinger, the campus and community minister with Jesus and Coffee for today. And we are talking today about the word hope. Now, both in the Hebrew form and the Greek form, kind of the more usage is found. This word also communicates expectation or you know optimistic lookout, if you will, or outlook, if you will. Optimistic outlook, expectation, all those things. And it actually comes up about a dozen times in the book of Job. And now, if you're thinking in the book of Job, hope, it's kind of all over the map. He says in Job 5:16, the poor have no hope, or the poor have hope. Um, in other occasions, he's talking about the poor have their hope, and in some occasions he says, you know, hey, at least there's hope for a tree. Job 14:7, and then Job 17:15. He says, where then is my hope? Where then is my expectation? Where then is my optimistic outlook on life? Because of the situations we find ourselves in, the struggles that we find ourselves in. I had a conversation very recently with someone, homeless person that does have a means of a roof over their head. Now you're saying, how are they homeless and have a roof over their head? There is such a thing as a sheltered homeless, but that's not the point of what we're talking about today. But this person, the very real struggles that they're experiencing, that they're going through, it's one of those situations of why is God doing all this? I see that there's hope for others, but there's no hope for me. Psalm 62:5 says, "Yes, my soul find rest in God. My hope comes from Him." Because of our very real circumstances, sometimes it's hard to see. It's hard to see that hope. It's hard to see. It's hard to see those things that God has in store. That God is continually working out. And so, where do we find that? Where are we able to gravitate to that hope? Where are we able to look and say, okay, yeah, I can I can see these things. I can see what God is doing. I can see what that God's not through with me yet. That God is doing big things through me, but it's hard to be able to see those things because of our past circumstances, because of those things that have happened to us that we didn't bring upon ourselves. We didn't do anything to cause. I think of, even, I said both the Old Testament, the Hebrew and the Greek form for this word hope, both mean expectation. At least the majority uses of this word. Well, one form is found in Acts chapter 2. Now, if you're whether you're aware or not, Acts chapter 2 is this sermon on the day of Pentecost, that all these things of what, as Peter and the disciples communicate to the crowd that is there, the 5,000 men plus that were there on this day, of who God is, and what they did to Jesus, and how they handed him over, and how they led him to a cross. And he says, but verse 24, God raised him from the dead, freeing him from the agony of death, because it was impossible for death to keep its hold on him. Okay, well, so what does that mean, that it's impossible for death to keep its hold on him? Well, he then refers back to an Old Testament statement. He said, "This is what David saw about him. I saw the Lord high and lifted up. I saw the Lord high and lifted up." He said, I saw him before me because he is at my right hand. I will not be shaken. In this occasion, I saw the Lord always before me. Because he is my right hand, I will not be shaken. Therefore, my heart is glad, and my tongue rejoices. My body also will rest in hope. My body will rest in hope. Find rest, my soul. Find rest, my soul, in God, in the hope that God provides. And yes, as Psalm 625 says, our hope comes from him. He says, find rest. Find rest in his hope. Because why? It says, because you will not abandon me to the realm of the dead. You will not let your Holy One, the body of your Holy One, see decay. You have made known to me the paths of life. You will find joy. You will fill me, with joy in your presence. So why then do we realize? Why then, or do we have the realization of hope? How then can we find it? Our help comes from the Lord, the maker of the heavens and the earth. And it's going to take us doing everything we can to remove that negative noise, to remove those from our path that remind us of our past, those chaotic moments, those troublesome moments from our past. And even for those in this audience on that day, on the day of Pentecost, the role that we played, the role that our ancestors played, looking to those moments and saying, he is my hope. In spite of all that I've done, he is my hope. He is your hope. So how are you going to lean into that hope today? How are you going to look in those moments and say, all right, God, what do you have in store for me today? Can't wait to hear and see how it goes. Y'all have a great day. God bless.
There will be a day when all will bow before him. There will be a day when death will be no more. Standing face to face with he who died and rose again. Holy, holy is the Lord. And every prayer, prayed in desperation, the songs of faith we sing through doubts and fear. In the end, we'll see that it was worth it when he returns to wipe away our tears. There will be a day when all will bow before him. There will be a day when death will be no more. Standing face to face with he who died and rose again. Holy, holy is the Lord. And on that day, we join the resurrection and stand beside the heroes of the faith. And with one voice, 1,000 generations